Hello, everyone. It's Julie Hedges, and I am live with another Cosmic Conversations right here on Facebook and YouTube simulcast with the wonderful producers at Star Nations Network. Thank you, Rob, for producing tonight, and sending our best to Neshi as she is really focusing on her home life right now with concerns there. This is a really crispy and cool evening in southern Indiana where I am. I live in a place where we get to experience all 4 seasons, and now is the time in which we're really feeling that change and seeing that change. All of the leaves of my dogwood tree have fallen, and the oak tree that's always the latest to drop her leaves, they have turned brown from their normal green. So really understanding this change that is coming. And I tell you, just a couple weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, at the beginning of the month is when we did our clock change and we did the fall back an hour. And so now 5 p.m. looks a whole lot like midnight. It really drops fast. And it's all part of that change. And what we're going to talk about tonight is these life changes that we are experiencing and how we can really work with the flow of change and celebrate some of our life graduations when sometimes they can look and feel like, oh, my job just ended, my relationship just ended, oh, my home situation radically changed, or my job just radically changed, and how those seemingly disruptive times are the fertile soil for the new things that are coming on our path for our soul's mission, shining bright and looking outward. So, as people are filing in, I'm going to take a minute and share the show over to the Tarot Journey page and invite others as they are coming in if they would like to share it to a personal page or in Messenger to alert someone of this cosmic conversation. So I'm going to take my phone and do that right quick before we get started in the broadcast. Cosmic Conversations. Sharing it. Copy the link. Sharing it to the Tarot Journey page. Check us out. And I think tonight I'll share it to my own personal page. I don't normally do that, but why not?
It's shared to Cosmic Conversations.
You already shared that, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I don't know that it's shared to my page. Let's try this again. There we go. And Let me make sure that it is on the Tarot Journey page. I apologize. I have to. Oh, heavens. Having some technical difficulties. Okay. Well. I'm trying my best here. Trying my best. Okay, so I think I have it shared, and you in the chat room, if you're just watching, if you want to put a little note in there, if you are seeing it on the Tarot Journey page or seeing it on my personal page, that would be wonderful to give me a little shout. So tonight we are talking about these changes that we are experiencing in life, these, I call them cosmic graduations, and what I am seeing with friends and clients and acquaintances, that so many of us are just really experiencing these sudden, unexpected changes that, ooh, just like that, relationship changes or job changes or dynamics between people just suddenly shift, and now there's a new path or a new way to think or a new adventure, and we call those cosmic graduations. And especially when we're working with the eclipse energies, that we are in the eclipse season, and what can we expect with that. So I'm going to pull that up too to help us talk about that. But because we always do soul work when we are here in a cosmic conversation, I do want to start with a grounding and a connecting, because I think what I'm going to do, as I was preparing to come on tonight, my computer was updating, and I heard from Spirit that I need to do a little sound healing tonight with all of you. So we're gonna spend some time doing that and talk about these wonderful graduations. And yes, we will be doing some live mini readings. So the second half of the show, you can comment down below, and we'll get to some readings tonight. And we've got Clara here. She's saying hello from West Allis, Wisconsin. Good to have you. Good to have you. And also in the chat, Marie Colucci. Happy Monday. Yes, happy Monday, or a moon day. I tell you what, here's a little fun astrological fact, that we have 7 days in the week, because before we really had high-powered telescopes, there were only 7 planets that we could see with the naked eye, that the ancients could see with the naked eye. And so every day is named after a planet. And Monday is the moon's day. Yeah, right on. Okay, so let's take a moment, wherever you are, to place your feet on the floor and imagine that your feet are now connecting to Grandmother Earth. And wherever you are, if you would just affirm in your heart with me while I'm saying the grounding prayer. Okay. My feet are connected to Grandmother Earth, and I am grounded. My whole body, my organs, cells, and bones are connected to my feet, connected to Grandmother Earth, and I am grounded. My chakra system, my meridians, my energy centers, my etheric field, and my subtle energy bodies are connecting now in a unified field in through my heart center, down through my feet to connect to the heart of Grandmother Earth, to be grounded. And I am grounded. I am grounded. I am grounded. And take a moment to, wherever you are, invite in your angels, ancestors, or allies in spirit. I'm going to invite in the holy archangels Michael, Uriel, Gabriel, and Raphael to surround us, bringing in truth, light, holy sight, and divine messages from Creator. And so it is. Amen. Amen. It's good to be with all of you tonight. And our topic is about these divine graduations that we have. There are periods of our life when the caterpillar can no longer stay a caterpillar and must become the butterfly. And in those times of change, it can get a little scratchy. It can get a little uncomfortable. It can get a little too hot, get a little too cold. And we can have these maybe blowouts, breakups, break aparts. And I've really been seeing that a lot lately. Lately, as in this past week into the weekend, and even starting this week. And what's precipitating this, what's supporting this, what's helping is all of the cosmic work that's going on up there that is really helping us in here and down here on the earth plane. We just celebrated a new moon. And so what the new moon does, that is the time when the sun and the moon come together in the sky. And it's a time of our consciousness. That's the sun. That's how we see and perceive the world. And the moon, that's how we receive the information in our hearts and our souls. That's how we navigate and filter our reactions and our instinct through our internal lens, the reflection part. So when those two come together, our consciousness and our inner sight are aligned. And we really, how do I want to say, we really have the benefit of the outer world and the inner world coming together to support us. So that just happened from Saturday night into Sunday morning. So it was early morning in America, and like mid-morning down under. In the sign of Scorpio, which is the deep, watery sign of autumn. And that's all about passion and intensity and investigation and our ability to spin straw into gold. It's that alchemical process of when we put all of the ingredients together in a pan, the eggs, the flour, the sugar, the oil, and we chemicalize it, we put it in the oven, it comes out a cake. All of those ingredients are cooked together to make something that is far different from the original ingredients. That's the power of Scorpio. So when we have our outer consciousness, our sight, the way we view the world, and our inner sight come together in that very deep, passionate, intense place, that can create ripples through our lives. So maybe a little homework for you is to take your journal and think about this particular time every year from mid-October to mid-November. What happens in your life as the trees are losing their leaves and the autumn is really moving further toward the winter time with the chillier weather, and the trees are now bare, and the sun is really losing its potency in early afternoons now. It's looking like nighttime at 5 p.m. We're really seeing those changes. So what happens for you during this time of year? Is there a pattern in your life where you are seeing life changes in this way? Like I said, I know that there have been really extreme changes for some of my friends, and I'll invite you to share in the chat room what some of your changes have been, but especially with relationship changes, relationships ending, friendships, love relationships, home life relationships ending very abruptly. And it's because that lens, that filter of what we're perceiving in the world and what we're perceiving on the inside come together, and our consciousness shifts. And that shift can create situations where it looks like tectonic plates are hitting one another. And in the earth, we call that an earthquake. In life, I guess we can call that a lifequake, where boom, two powers come together and there's a shakeup. And sometimes with that shakeup, there could be a little rubble at the end. I'm going to take a quick drink here. And if anybody has an example of what Marie said, yes, in her life, she's found changes this time of year. She filed for divorce this time last year. Yeah. So your outer world and your inner world really shifted. And so that resonated throughout your life. Awesome. Hi, Catherine. Thanks for joining us this evening. It's good to have you here on Cosmic Conversations. In particular, a couple of examples happened to friends of mine, good friends, where just suddenly these relationships ended. Now, I honor everyone's path and their truth. And I know from very personal experience when those cosmic shifts happen that filter down into life and our relationships end, can be very, very hurtful. I've had a few of what the heck just happened to me moments and broken hearts when friendships, people that I thought I could really, really rely on, when they have ended. So I know from personal experience how it can be disruptive and hurtful. Then as my heart has healed and I've used my tools that I know and relied on help of friends, like, oh, now I understand why our paths needed to diverge, that I was needing to go in this particular direction and that other person was needing to continue on a different path. And so I was able to look at it like a graduation. Rob, what are you saying here in the chat room? Can you put that on for us? This time of year is always a time of shedding the old. Being betrayed with a kiss is the symbolism of Scorpio. That's very interesting. Very interesting. It is true that Scorpio is the sign of double agents, we'll say. So definitely that intrigue can be part of it. Scorpio, the energy where we're in right now, that's the mansion where the sun is visiting, the sign of the zodiac of Scorpio, is all about true power, power dynamics. When you know what the core is, when you know what the core power is. What else were you saying there, Rob, in the chat room? About a scorpion's bite looks like a pair of lips, the kiss of death. I did not know that. Thankfully, I've never experienced that from a scorpion. So I didn't know what the bite looks like. Interesting. Very, very interesting. So I thank you for sharing your stories tonight of how you've experienced those changes. For myself, I always like to share examples of myself. I'm transparent when it comes to that, because as I write the articles and I do the shows and I teach and I work with people around the globe and help them understand and realize their gifts, talents, and abilities, I still am living this too. I do. I still skin my knees. I've still had my heart broken. I've been betrayed. Even though I'm an intuitive and a psychic, yes, I have been betrayed because my heart has been so open and there have been some cross intentions. Yeah, I'm still having to walk the path also. So I'll share a story that happened to me last year. I have a regular everyday old job too. Work for a finance company, and then I get to do my wonderful shows and write my articles and books with all of you too. Suddenly, our whole department lost our jobs last summer. We walked into work, and then we were taken to the conference room and given our packets and then told to go pack our things and see you later, alligator. And even though I am an intuitive, even though I connect with spirit, that was not, I didn't have any spidey sense go off. There was no premonition about this. It just happened. Some things I'm not meant to know before they happen. And so here I am, just raw and real in the conference room, totally stunned, like, what? What just happened to all of us? And it did take me by surprise. So the observer part of me, the capital S self, said, oh, okay, this is one of those graduations, and I'll be okay because I always bounce back. But I also know that my little self is like, but I have bills, but I have responsibilities, but I need a job, but what am I going to do? And a feeling of betrayal and an anxiety about the very, very near future. So I allowed myself, the little s, I allowed myself to have the feelings of, I'm angry about this, I'm hurt about this, I'm stunned, I'm confused. Have my feelings, but also using my tools of breathing, being out in nature, keeping a schedule so that I can move forward. So that included brushing up my resume, which I had put aside for all that time that I had that job. And so one thing I've learned out of this is I will tell everybody, keep your resume completely up to date all the time, because you never know. You never know. With all of these things changing like fireflies everywhere, you never know. So I am sharing that story just to share with all of you that these changes are processing through all of our bodies at once. And it may take some time to filter through the different pieces of us. What do I mean by all of the bodies? Well, of course, the physical, where you walk into that conference room and here's your packet of separation papers. You sign this. And you have to pack up your things in a box and head out the door, the physical stuff, but also the emotional of what just happened. The sudden change. What I thought I could count on, I can't anymore. And then through the mental field of, what am I going to do? What next? How do I organize my day? So, and then your spiritual fields after that, where I knew in the moment that happened, it's like, okay, there is a spiritual lesson in this and also a spiritual reason for me. I know that because it happened that way, my path with that was complete. Like, boom, the book shut, the door shut. I'm ready to move on. Of course, we'd always like to have graduations where we are the ones that are walking across the stage and we're being handed the diplomas and we get our pictures taken and all celebrations. There are plenty of graduations like that. But there are also these graduations of a tornado hit my home and now my clothes are suddenly in the next county. And my mailbox is in the next zip code. There's only a slab and no house left. What am I going to do? So there's a period of collecting, picking up the stuff, clearing it away, and then creating something new. So that's what I wanted to share about that, and a little bit about the eclipses. So I'm pulling up the dates here on my phone so that I can share exactly with you. We have an upcoming eclipse on the 30th, so right after the Thanksgiving holiday here in the US. We have a full moon lunar eclipse. So that means the sun and the moon are in opposite points of the sky. And the moon is shining in its fullness. And with a full moon lunar eclipse, those usually signify a closing of a chapter, an ending. And I tell you, we can see some life events happen before and after the eclipses. So I'm going to say for some of my friends who have recently had relationship changes, those are some endings that happen there. And this lunar eclipse coming up is at 8 degrees of Gemini. So with this, the sun will, at the end of the month, will be in the mansion of Sagittarius, and then the moon will be in Gemini. So when we have that dynamic, well, hello, Maureen. Thank you for joining us. We're just talking about the eclipses and the eclipse arms. Hello, hello. So the balance and the eclipse of the sun in Sagittarius and the moon in Gemini. Sagittarius is about the higher mind, about our beliefs and personal philosophies, and the way we organize our lives to be lived out in the world and engaging with the public at large, with travel and foreign lands and faraway travel, like overnight travel. And Gemini, on the other hand, is about our local environment, our neighborhood, so to speak, down the street, our neighbors, our siblings, the people around us, the people in our classroom settings even. So those locals, and how flexible and how much agility we have and ability to move around in our local environment. So some of the dynamics that can come up for us during an eclipse with Sagittarius and Gemini would be a change in our own personal belief structure. Better yet, a mirror being held up to us so we can see how our own beliefs are helping or hindering our ability to move about our local society. Does that make sense? Like how our own ideas and the way we process information and the way we speak and communicate and write helps or hinders us from engaging with our local community and also out there in the world, exploring the world at large. But I always think of, and I have said this for as long as I can remember, that Gemini, which that will be the position of the full moon coming up, Gemini is called the mirror of love. It's the twins. So the sign of Gemini looks like, to me, it looks like one of those mirrors that you hang on your wall, one of those long mirrors with the twins holding both sides. So holds up a mirror so you can see your own reflection. So you can see how you are interacting with your local environment, how your words, how your ideas, how your thoughts are being filtered into that local environment and how you are being perceived and engaging with. Yeah. I'm going to take a drink real quick here. So before I get to the readings, I am going to do a little sound clearing here with my Tibetan singing bowl. Just a small one. It's about 3 inches, I guess. 3 inches in diameter. But it makes a lovely, lovely sound. And while I'm playing the singing bowl, I invite you to drop into your heart space and appreciate your own ability to discern information as it's coming through. And also appreciate the mirror that you hold up to the world. The who you are is being a mirror for the world to engage with itself. I think that's a little bit easier than taking things so personally, that things are happening to us, people engaging with us in a manner that they're really seeing themselves. They're seeing a reflection of the self with a little s, maybe sometimes with a big S, capital S, we'll say. But appreciating the way in which you perceive the world. So I invite you to hold in your heart, drop into your heart, and appreciate your own perceptions. I love that little singing bowl. I use it every day. I use it as part of my own personal bringing in of my energy when I call myself back in from dreamland when I first wake up. And as I'm preparing for bed every night, I just center myself using my little singing bowl. So as I was playing that and asking you to drop into your heart, to appreciate the way you perceive and engage with the world, I hope you felt at home. I hope you felt that you have been called back to yourself. That was my intention. And so as you go out from this evening, you can tune back into that. It was just a short little meditation, 2 or 3 minutes, to be called back into your heart. So I wanted to share that with you. Now this evening, we're going to open up for live mini readings. Anyone who wants a reading. Tonight, I am using the empathic. I said that wrong twice tonight. The empathic oracle. Golly, I'm so sorry. The empathic oracle. This is a new deck that I just got. I'm really excited about it. It was one of those suggestions from Amazon. So I grabbed it. If you would like a card this evening, a special mini message, just go ahead and raise your hand in the chat room and we will get to you. Jackie Fitzpatrick said, loved what you shared this evening. Would love a card, please. Yes, certainly. So what happens is I shuffle the cards and the card that is yours will just pop out. So when I'm looking down, it's because I'm looking for the one that's going to pop out for yours. Okay. Oh, I don't know if you can see this. This says holiday. So Jackie, the message that wants to come through here, really I'm focused on this starry background. You know, this beautiful night sky. And during the holidays, and I know that for a lot of us, the holidays are going to be very, very different this year because of the concerns about what's going on with health-wise and all kinds of concerns. I think we know what's going on, so I'm not going to say that specifically. So during the holidays, the holy days, taking time to really do what we did tonight, dropping into your heart and appreciating yourself with a capital S. And also loving yourself with a little s. Our humanness is here to experience life too. So appreciating your capital S self and your little self, dropping into your heart during those holy days, because you are the reason that we have the holy days. You have the holiness in you. You are holy and you are whole. Thank you for tuning in tonight, Jackie. And who else would like a card? Marie says, absolutely. Please and thank you. Definitely. Wow, that just totally popped out. Yours is non-duality. And what I'm really drawn to here is this eclipse. As you can see, it looks like one circle is going to come in front of the other circle, creating the eclipse, creating the light being abbreviated, we'll say. So the message that wants to come through here for you, Marie, is that when the eclipse happens, and this could be the literal eclipse that's coming up, or it could be an event or circumstance in your life, when something appears to overshadow something else, it's so that your eyes and your inner sight, your third eye, can sharpen its sight. So it's really about this time allowing you to sharpen your inner sight, your inner knowing. And I'm being shown a hawk. So hawks are very, raptors of all kinds, but hawks especially are known for their eyesight. I was in a naturalist training class one time, and the teacher shared that if a hawk was as large as a human, its eyes would be the size of softballs. That's a big eye. So, and a hawk is not large at all. It weighs 32 ounces, and that's the size of a soft drink. It's maybe 12 inches high, 10 to 12 inches. So it has big eyes. So it's all about that sight. So it's asking you to really focus on your inner sight right now, that third eye. Maybe you are experiencing some sensations there right now or recently. Maybe it feels like sinus or tension headache in the front. Do your self-care, but the message that I'm getting is that is your inner sight expanding. Okay. Thank you, Marie. Appreciate you tuning in tonight. And who else would like a card? You are welcome, Jackie. That was a beautiful message. Oh, you're so welcome. Oh, you see hawks every day, and you had one at your house for weeks. I love the hawks. I really, really do. So thank you for sharing that. Thank you. My friend Pat, who always wears a hat. Thank you for tuning in tonight. Let's get you a nice card message there. Oh, okay. Oh, I like this one. Look at this. This is the moon. The message that's coming through for you, Pat, is to appreciate the flow of the waters of your body, the natural flow and rhythm that is yours and yours alone. So what I'm actually seeing right now is when I was younger, at family vacation, we would always go to Panama City, and we'd go to Panama City, Florida, and we'd go to this water park, and they had what they called a lazy river. So it's just this very slow moving, meandering People would have rafts or little inner tubes and they'd just float. But it was not going anywhere fast, not having any destination, but just taking our time. And so this is all about honoring your flow. And what I'm seeing is that in the next 15 to 30 days, those are going to have some disruptions, like brief turbulence periods in the lazy river, so that the flow will have to be temporarily redirected. So it's a sign of things to come, but that you'll be able to get back to your natural rhythm very quickly, very easily, by simply honoring your flow. Just, if there is a disruption, not letting it get the best of you. Yeah. And someone else's emergency doesn't have to mean your emergency. Keeping up with your own rhythm and flow. There you go, Pat. Thanks for tuning in tonight. And who else would like? Catherine. Yes, thank you for tuning in tonight. I appreciate having you as part of a cosmic conversation. These cards are so fast. They're just jumping out. Yours is summer. Summer. What I'm feeling for you, this is very interesting that I don't know where you are in the world. Here in the Northern Hemisphere, we are experiencing autumn, and particularly in the Midwest where I am, we really have marked seasons, all 4 seasons. But the message that I'm getting now is, for you, this is like a summertime period. Like, school's out for the summer, Everybody stay out late, picnic, catch fireflies, sunscreen, and just feeling and hearing the sound of children laughing and playing. So whatever that really resonates for you, the vibe is summertime celebration for you. Maybe you've been working so hard all year long, and it's like, okay, now it's break time. It's summer vacation. So I'm getting the message of celebrate. It'd be interesting if I'd like for you to tell me where you are in the world and how that resonates for you. I'd love to hear that. Thank you. You are welcome. You are welcome. Oh, Pat says, thank you. I'm resting up in preparation. Okay. And Rob would like a card. Certainly, Rob. And does Maureen want one over there in Facebook land?
I don't see it, but I'm sure she wouldn't mind.
Okay. Your card, Rob, is this really interesting sacred geometry configuration, balance. Balance. I've been really reviewing my Reiki lately, and this reminds me a whole lot of the Reiki symbol called Gnosa, Gnosa. I know you can find that on Google. Gnosa, sacred knowing, sacred knowledge. And I'm seeing like a tattoo right on the middle of your chest with this sacred symbol. So it's as if all of the learning that you've been experiencing, all of the knowledge, the head knowledge, the classes that you've been taking. Now it's really being imprinted into your heart center, that it's becoming part of the wisdom of your heart. It really feels so beautiful. It's like a tattoo right there at your heart center with the symbol of the knowledge that is really being imprinted. And that's the word they're wanting to use, imprinted. Interesting. I love that. Oh, now I see it. Maureen says, yes, thanks for offering. Oh, Catherine is saying, I'm in Kentucky, and it won't be terribly long before I go to Florida right after Christmas. That's my summertime. Well, there you go. So celebrate. And Catherine, I'd love if you could take a bunch of beach sunset pictures. Oh, I think I shared with earlier that as kids, you know, my family, we'd all go to Panama City, Florida every year. That was our kind of getaway. It's not too far of a drive for a family of 6 to go. And I belong to the Panama City Facebook group. And so, you know, 3 or 4 times a week in my news feed, I get to see these wonderful pictures from the beach. It really has helped me during these times where we had to hunker down and not do a lot of traveling because of, you know, things going on in the world. So, but I can always use more beach sunset pictures. So there you go. Miss Maureen, my dear friend Maureen. I'm feeling much better, by the way. Oh, Earth. So the message that wants to come through here is all about, I'm really being drawn to the trees. And I'm now smelling a pine tree. So if you are getting your home ready for the holiday spirit, for the Christmas spirit, I'm smelling like a real live spruce, Douglas fir, whatever you want to call it, Christmas tree, or at least some greenery that has that wonderful piney smell to bring what they're wanting to say is to bring the medicine of nature to your inner sanctuary. And I'm seeing like an altar space being set up. Because I'm being shown these Christmassy themes, it kind of resembles like what the scene is of the manger. I don't know if you have a nativity scene up, but it really feels like a sacred altar. So if you have a nativity scene and you are putting it up as a sacred altar, or if that's just what my guides are showing me to signify that sacred space, the message is that honoring of a sacred altar is part of your medicine for the coming year. That there is a physical representation of where you're wanting to go, that you can look at every day, that you can touch, that you can interact with in a real physical way, as well as a mental and emotional and spiritual way. But I'm just loving that Christmas tree smell that I smell right now. So that is your message there, Miss Maureen. Did I get everybody for a message tonight? I want to make sure that that
Yes,
we
you did.
Say again.
See.
Okay. All right. So, oh, thank you all for joining me for another cosmic conversation. It's always a joy to be your host, to help bring together the earth and the cosmic wisdom. And from my heart to yours, have beautiful rest of your evening and good work and good safe journey on your own sacred path, and really honoring the way in which you process and receive the world. So big cosmic love, everyone, and I will see you next month. Mwah! Bye-bye.